Well, this is kind of video 3 on the new Gauntlet SL30, and I got some new slugs in, so I wanted to do kind of a recomparison of sorts, and they're from Griffin. Again, last time we shot the Griffin 64s, and I think the rifle slugs as well, which are the 60.80, and so today we're going to add to that the Griffin 78 grain slugs. Now, I haven't adjusted this at all since the last time we shot, so hopefully 0 is pretty close at least. But we're actually looking for the grouping here. We're not really concerned necessarily about hitting the bullseye every single time. We're just looking for the grouping. Do have a little bit of a breeze here today. It is a little bit cold, but not too bad. I think we're still in the 40s, which again is nice for December, especially the end of December. So on top of this, we have the Marcool 5.5 to 25 scope, and this scope works perfectly with that. We do have also the Hajimoto high capacity mag. Got to have one of these with this. We have the Yokozuna from Donnie FL at the end. And I think that's about it. Again, I really haven't made too many adjustments except for the trigger on this. The hammer spring is stock. I think it was running about 980, something like that, with 44 grain, 45 grain pellets. So this obviously is going to be running slower than that, especially with the 78 grains. But let's do this. Let's put 3 shots on each target. The target is set up at 40 yards. And we'll just see what happens here. We're going to start off with the Griffin 64s, being that we started off with I think we started off with the rifle last time, maybe not. Tell you what, let's do this. I think we started off with the Griffins last time. So let's start off with the 64 grain, or I'm sorry, the 60 grain rifle slugs. And then we will go from there. Yeah, 60.8. Let's try these first. And this way we're kind of stepping up each time in grain. Maybe that's the more natural way to do it. These rifle slugs are a little bit more gradual. Well, not gradual. They're actually a little bit quicker in the nose ramp. A little bit fatter in the nose than in the Griffins, but again, we'll see. That makes these a little bit harder to load, so you will notice that, but still, they go in fine. They're just a little bit firm, but not necessarily any big deal. So again, we have everything set up at 40 yards. We're going to be starting from the left and moving to the right, and we'll just see what happens here. First one seemed to be a little bit of a flyer. Let's see if we can put the second one right next to this. I think that went through kind of the same hole. I'm not sure why that flew on the first one, but again, sometimes the first one through tends to do that for some reason. Some will argue that point. But I seem to find that, you know, the first round sometimes just seems to do what it wants to. And again, that's just me saying that. But again, that's what I've experienced. All right, so now we're going to go with the Griffin 64s. We'll be shooting at the middle target. Come on now. Okay, that's 3 shots with that. Now we're going to go to the Griffin 78s. My assumption is these should drop some, being that they're so much heavier. And you actually have to hand load these, so keep that in mind. They will not, well, let me see. I don't know if they'll fit in the Hajimoto mag or not. Might as well give it a try. No, they will not. They're too long. So you got to hand load these. No big deal. Load really nice. Okay, so we're going to put this on the target all the way to the right. And as expected, they did drop quite a bit, which is okay. We're looking more for grouping, as I said. A little bit higher on that. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, that went exactly through the second hole. There's probably an inch apart from the 2 shots. Again, that first shot dropped a little bit more. Second 2 shots were hole in hole. The 64s, again, there was a little side movement, but most of the time that's me. And the rifle slugs appears to be 2, or actually no, I made a mistake. There are 3 shots on that. Now I see the third one. First one is just on the edge of the diamond. The second shot is right through bullseye, and the third shot is about 1 o'clock all the way at the top of the paper. I don't know why. Again, it just is what it is. You know, and again, just because a slug doesn't necessarily work perfectly in one rifle does not mean that it may not be the most accurate one in another rifle. That's why we got to continually be trying things, you know, not only trying different slugs and pellets, but again, looking for that curve. And obviously on a regulated rifle as this is, the curve is going to be a lot flatter, but still, sometimes we find that it makes a difference. How much air you have in the tank affects that, because it affects the hammer spring. The more air in the tank, typically the more the hammer spring has to work, so that will affect trajectory and point of impact. All right, and again, this was just 3 shots of each. I haven't shot a lot of the 78 grains yet. 64s I've shot a lot, and I really like those a lot. But I know others that have been using the 78 grains in the Gauntlet 30 and love them. You know, some will say it's their favorite. Which just goes to show you again that every rifle may be a little bit different, and we really have to look and see how our rifle is going to perform with whatever we're using. I don't care what it is. Whatever you're attaching to this, whatever you're shooting through this, rifle to rifle, it's going to be just a tad different. So we need to keep that in mind. All right, so that's it for today. What do I have coming up? Well, I know I'm going to do a little bit more testing too with the AEA 357. That's really showing to be a really excellent rifle as well, or they call it pistol, I call it carbine, so it's one of those 3, that I know. And I know, again, we're going to put some slugs through that. I got a couple different ones to run through there, and we'll see how those go. But that's it for today. We're going to keep shooting this monster and, you know, refining what it is that it does best. And I'm sure I'll be updating on that as we go along. If you haven't liked this page yet, please click that button below and like this page. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, please go to the Shooter Zone on Facebook and like that page as well. And for now, that's all we have. So shoot lots, be safe, and we will see you again soon. Take care now.